Hey, guten Tag and welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't uploaded on Sunday and this is for a reason. I've been really busy. I just came back from Vegas where I attended the NAB and there's a lot of things happening for my production company Monkey Pixels, me as a DP, as well as this YouTube channel. And of course, you guessed it, I bought a new cinema camera and you can already see it right there in the background. And don't worry, I won't drag this out too long and I will get to this in a minute. But why did I buy a new cinema camera and what is happening for my production company as well as on YouTube? So in this video, I just want to talk to you about and give you an update of what's happening and what you can expect on this channel in the future. And of course, why I bought the new cinema camera and what this will entail. And this video really is scripted. We're just here to talk about filmmaking, gear, business, well, everything. So sit back and relax and let's start. So first things first, the cinema camera that I just bought is a red Komodo. And yes, I know there's a red Komodo X just being released next Tuesday and I'm really excited about this and I will make a full video about this next week. But I'm also happy that I just bought the red Komodo because, well, I need it right now and I need it for a job and a big project on Monday. And, well, I'm about to tell you why. I've been telling everybody for years on Facebook, my Instagram, as well as this YouTube channel that I think that the Canon C70 is the superior camera to the red Komodo for 90% of people out there. And I'm still sticking to it. I'm still recording this YouTube video on my Canon C70 and I will still use this for some commercial projects in the near future. It's always been a big dream of mine to be a red owner, but quite frankly, I just didn't have the jobs to justify it. And most of the jobs that I had and was hired for, the C70 was just the better camera for it. When you're a solo filmmaker or even work in a small team with an assistant as well as somebody helping you out with lights, the Canon C70 is an absolute dream come true. But once you step it up and you go into bigger productions with multiple crew members and having a suitable focus for you, the Canon C70 really isn't the right camera for you. And yes, I've used the Canon C70 or the Canon C300 Mark III on bigger sets and I did a full breakdown on this recently where I talked about this, but it was a crew of about 4 to 5 people, but it wasn't a traditional film crew. There was me as the DP director and I was basically just having a lot of assistants. They were all also solo filmmakers and that worked out fine. But once you step it up to a crew of specialists and you have a first AC that's pulling focus for you, taking care of your camera, you have a dedicated gaffer, you have a sound person, etc., you have some certain requirements that maybe the Canon C70 isn't the best choice for. And I already knew this, but I also kind of had to find out the hard way. When I came back from the US, I started budgeting out that project as well as the crew and also the gear and equipment that we needed to make this work. And once I started actually rigging out the camera and setting it up for all of the scenarios that we need, I just ran into more and more problems. And whenever I put out a fire, 3 more started. And at some point I was just fed up with it. And I just bought a red Komodo. I won't get into all the problems that I had with the Canon C70 and all the other equipment that I needed for the upcoming project in this video. But if you're interested, I could actually make a dedicated video. What changes once you step it up from a solo filmmaker to working on bigger sets? But just to quickly mention a couple. You know, I've always complained about the HDMI port for years. It's just not a great port for professional work. Then there's also the added delay when working with wireless transmission systems. That's a whole nother nightmare that I had to encounter. When you have somebody pulling focus with you, you need low latency, so you can't really use it. So you need to tie it down, which you can't really on the Canon C70 because there's not enough mounting point. Well, it's also going to be quite hard. And then there's so many other problems, along with brand recognition, etc. Well, it's an entire nightmare. Fortunately for me, my production company Monkey Pixels is stepping it up right now. Our clients get bigger, therefore the budgets get bigger, and that also entails that the crews get bigger. There's only so much you can do as a solo filmmaker or with a small crew, but if you really want to deliver the high quality, you just need help and you can't do it by yourself. There's also all of a sudden this new world opening up where you're not a solo filmmaker anymore and you have so much more possibilities with working with a crew, with specialists that are really good at their job, creative people, and it's really fun to work with other people too. So now that I've briefly explained what's happening to my production company and my client work, let's now talk a little bit about the changes here on YouTube. I think a lot of you already noticed that my channel is switching in a certain direction. I really want to focus on lighting tutorials and breakdowns, cinematography in general, also the business side of owning a production company, and just behind the scenes and breakdowns of a bit bigger shoots and bigger commercial jobs. But it's not only going to be commercial work, there's also going to be some fun projects here on this YouTube channel, and this could be documentaries as well as narrative work. Last year I was kind of stuck here on YouTube. I didn't really know which direction I want to go in, and I was under the impression that if I want to be successful as a YouTuber, at least the way that I was doing it, I need to do a lot of gear reviews and also maybe tailored towards the beginner and amateur more, and therefore use, well, inexpensive equipment that people can afford and therefore can identify with. The problem here was that I just didn't enjoy it, because I really wanted to create something and I didn't really want to be held back by gear. Don't get me wrong, I love gear, I love talking about gear, I love using gear, but I was at a certain point where I was like, okay, I need to review this certain item, so I need to integrate this item into a shoot, and a lot of the times it just didn't make sense, and then I started to create shoots around a certain piece of equipment, which is obviously backwards and not the way you should do it. And I went all in on that approach. If you noticed, in January and February, I uploaded about 30 videos. And that was shorts and reviews about lights and tutorials and vlogs and a little bit of everything. But the numbers just didn't reflect at all. Nobody subscribed, the views didn't go up. So I was obviously doing something wrong. And a lot of people could tell. So I sat back and I just kinda thought about what I really want to do. And I want to be a DP. I want to work on bigger sets. I want to shoot really cool stuff, may it be commercial work, narrative, documentary. I really want to be passionate about what I'm actually going to shoot. And that's when I uploaded Cutting Edge. And the response that I've gotten from you guys, not only to the film, but also to the interview breakdown, was absolutely amazing. And people loved it, and I started to push a little bit more towards that direction of doing something that I really like. And that is doing lighting breakdowns, cinematography breakdowns. And you guys loved it. And the numbers exploded and people kept talking about how they liked the new direction, and I'm so glad they did, because this is something that I enjoy a lot more than what I tried in January and February with the YouTube shorts and all that kind of stuff. So now the direction that I'm pushing towards to is the direction that I always wanted to go into when I started YouTube in the first place. So this is exactly where the channel is headed. It's going to be all about cinematography, also the gear necessary for cinematography, but also lighting breakdowns, learning, as well as just seeing how it works when working on bigger sets. And don't get me wrong, I've never been on a set with 20+ people, I've never shot a feature film, but those are things that I'm really aspiring to do. And I want to take you with me, and I love the idea of you learning as I go along with it. Because as soon as I learn something new, I want to teach you, I want to tell you how I did it, and then we can just all learn together and grow on this YouTube channel. And I've been enjoying this journey a lot with you, and I hope to enjoy this even more in the near future. And that's a wrap. This is all I have to say about this topic. You will be seeing a lot more with the Red Komodo in the very near future, because I will be doing a full behind the scenes as well as a breakdown of the commercial that we're shooting on Monday. So if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button right now to not miss it. And next Sunday, there will be a full new lighting tutorial as well. And while you're already here, check out my last video, and I hope to see you on the next one.